What's up, WWE Games community? This is Marcus the Hammer Stevenson, along with the man himself, creative director of WWE 12, Corey the Decimal. How's it going, Corey?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good, good, good. You know, we got a lot of stuff for you guys. We put that Q&A on Facebook and on Twitter and our message boards for WWE 12. Questions is for Corey, and we got all the questions actually right here. I have it on my iPhone, but first question, number one, is from Chris McFarland, and he asks, will there be better environment interactions with the stage, and will there be more different weapons this year in WWE 12?
Yeah, great question. So with the stage and with weapons themselves, these are both things that we want to do, but we've actually kind of put on hold a little bit this year because we're focused on core gameplay. So I mean, the more complexities you add, the more things you start to add in, it's harder to tune it all and focus the attention everywhere. So really just want to focus on gameplay, make sure that's solid. The core systems like AI, reversing, downtime, all those core things, we want to make sure we give all the attention. So unfortunately, we don't do anything necessarily new with the stage this year or with weapons. I mean, we didn't take away any weapons. Only great weapons from last year are still in there, but we haven't really done anything major with them. With the stage, and this is something we've been talking with the design team just for the future. Sure. This is an area we obviously want to kind of build out, and we think it works perfectly for any kind of brawling, any kind of backstage stuff, any kind of falls count anywhere stuff. It's perfect for that, and it's an area that's been kind of neglected for the last few years. So I think the fans can expect in the future that they'll see some improvements, some additions in that stage area that you can fight in.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, I mean, yeah, the community's been asking for that kind of stuff, so it's good that you guys are thinking about it. It's on the radar.
Absolutely.
All right. Next question comes from Marcus Madness. It's not me, I promise. It's not the Macho Man's kind of Marcus brother. It was me. No, it's
your
not.
alter ego.
Right, right. It's he asks, are the different directional grapples similar to Here Comes the Pain? Actually, the directional grapples from SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. Are we going to have that in WWE 12? Because a lot of the people in the community really love that.
Yeah, I think there's some fear that that's going away, and we absolutely want to keep that in there, so that hasn't gone away. So directional grapples are still in there, so any kind of lifting type move, you will be able to rotate and swing it with the left stick any direction you want, so you can hit tables and weapons and all that stuff. Yeah, so that hasn't gone away. I know fans have been asking about physics. That hasn't changed at all.
So the things they know and love.
Yep, those are still in there. We made sure that was still in there, even though we're adding all this new technology. It hasn't changed that. We want to make sure the core was still intact. And I use this analogy of kind of taking everything apart. Basically, we took everything that's still in there, the fun elements that we like, removed any kind of legacy code or old stuff that was slowing the game down or not fun anymore, and then we retooled all the core system, put it back together again. So the game is still, in its essence itself, it plays different, like you checked it out, plays different, but it's still, at its core, that same game.
Yes, okay, great. Hear that, Madness? Yeah. Anyway, all right, the next is from Travis Osborne, and he asks, can we defend titles this year whenever we want to?
Right, because of the universe.
Because of the universe
fiasco last year. Boy, that's a good question. I mean, I know the answer to the question, but I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal it just yet.
So let's just say, in safety, you're not allowed to answer it.
Let's just say that we've heard that feedback. We took it very seriously. The universe has some significant improvements this year. We can't wait to detail what those are. Hint, hint.
Great, great. This is great. All right, the next comes from Sadiq Kosha, and the question is, are comeback moments available for every single superstar? So yes, WWE 12 comeback moments, big thing this year. Is every superstar going to happen?
They're not. We have made comebacks an ability, so we actually tie them to certain superstars, and a lot of them are custom sequences that you see those particular superstars hit, those 3-move combos. So we've actually mocapped them for particular superstars. Some I can't announce on the roster, but there are going to be a certain number of superstars that have. I think we mocap maybe 10 to 12 of them. So you can expect that many to have abilities. I think some of them are generic enough to share possibly, but we haven't finalized that design yet. So a little bit later on, I think when the game gets a little bit closer to final tuning wise, we can go ahead and announce exactly who has them, what they are. We can probably show some video of what those comeback sequences are and everything.
But you strategically assigned them for those specific superstars for that reason, right?
We wanted them to be authentic. So what we saw is we saw these cool comeback moments that were happening in WWE where these superstars would hit these sequences, bam, 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 and it's like, well, that sequence isn't in our game. And sometimes you can recreate yourself on your own controls, but we don't really set the stage for you. So that's what it's all about, is taking those custom sequences. The one you see Cena do every single time before he rallies and does his 5-knuckle shuffle. We wanted to put that in the game and have that cool authenticity in there, so that's what these are all about.
And it is cool. When you see it in motion, it's like those chill moments that you get as a WWE fan. You're just kind of like, there it is, got it, all right. Cool. And then the next comes from Jay Schraub. Will there be more cutscenes in Universe mode this year? So probably something else you can't really go into in depth, but very generic question.
I think what we said from a marketing standpoint, just that Universe is coming back.
Yep.
We love the foundation of the mode. We think it has tons of room for improvement, right? It's got a lot of growth. We want to build upon that. I think I've even mentioned to fans on Twitter that I think it's moving even a little bit closer to maybe a GM mode type experience.
Yes.
I don't want to set the expectations that it's GM mode next year because that's not what it is. Sure. But as far as your own control of it and some of the functionality that was in there, you'll start to see that. I think that mode is going to start to marry into something more of a story and follow along like we had last year, but also more control.
Right. Okay.
Combining both those together. So, we can't talk about it just yet, but big improvements for Universe. You can expect things like new cutscenes. Of course, we're going to do that.
And all that information, guys, it'll be out there. We know you guys want to know everything right now. We have a plan. Trust me, by the time the game ships, you'll know everything, we promise, right?
And that's the way it works, right? I mean, it's June right now, and the game comes out in November, so we set it up so every month we'll drop a big piece of info, and maybe next month is Universe, and the month after that is Road to WrestleMania, and we'll spell it out that way. I know it's painstaking, it takes a while, and you want to know everything now. We apologize about that. Me as a creative person, I want to tell you everything right now, but I'm on a leash.
Yeah.
Corporate leash.
We all are. All right, and then the next comes from D-Generation X Super Kick. Good name. Will there be Cytrons, Curvetrons to go along with the Minitrons that we had last year?
This is probably one of the top trending things I get on my Twitter.
It really is,
which is understandable. Fans want to have all those in there, and we do as well. So we are looking to make sure we get all those assets from the WWE. Those are assets we need to get from them. As long as we get those, we're going to put them in the game.
Okay.
So we're just waiting to make sure we can get all those. Sometimes it's hard to get into, but hurdles and we have to overcome to get that asset. But once we get it in there, we're going to get in the game. And we know that everyone wants that, obviously, so it's on our top priority list of things to make sure it gets in there. Okay. If it doesn't, I'll have to explain for some reason why it didn't come to fruition. But
you just did.
We feel pretty confident.
So you hear that, guys? Like, it's on the radar. It's all up to if we get all that stuff. So we know, we get it. The last one actually comes from Victor Perez, and he asked, so the SVR, so SmackDown vs. Raw series, kind of did away with the stamina bar shown in the bottom. We do see a meter now. Tell us a little bit about that meter. What does it represent? What is it?
It's similar to the stamina meter in the past games.
Okay.
There were some flaws we didn't like with the stamina meter. Obviously, it was really annoying when you ran out of stamina, you fell down.
Right.
And you collapsed and you're super fatigued. That's not a fun experience. And then, so we brought it back because we wanted to limit spamming of the run. I mean, there's a lot of tactics where you can just run attacks all day long. Also, we like it because we want to give you an advantage with the limb target. So if I start wearing down your legs, we can do cool stuff like say, hey, you don't have as much adrenaline to use anymore. So that can be a strategy where if you decide I want to work the legs, all of a sudden he can't run as much in the match. So that's a cool new strategy we want to introduce. So stamina, what it is basically you have a certain amount of adrenaline, we call it adrenaline, not stamina, that you can use, and as you're holding the run button, it will drain it, and then when it gets down, you don't fall, you just start walking.
Okay.
And that's it. So we don't really penalize you heavily. Also, there's a bug with the old system where if you got Irish whipped, even though you didn't have any stamina, this year with the adrenaline, even though you don't have any, you get Irish whipped and still run.
Okay.
So it's silly that you wouldn't run because it's not on your own power.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
So that's been addressed, and so I think the system is good now, and of course you can always turn it on and off. If you don't like it, turn it off.
All right, well, that's it.
Cool.
Thanks a lot, Corey.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Appreciate it. And guys, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at WWE Games. You can actually follow Corey on Twitter at RealCoreyLedesma. And while we're at it, you can follow me as well at StevensonMC. And then don't forget to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WWE Games. But for Corey, this is Marcus the Hammer Stevenson saying so long. Later.
Every champion reinvents himself. Every champion never stops pushing. Bigger.